and everything. Anyway. Yeah! Somebody fighting! Alright! Game number 1! I believe we're starting with the TVZ as well. Even though it's the other way around on the preview thingy. So the first match is going to be Killer versus Mong. Killer, of course, the recent pro gamer. Or I should say recently retired, I suppose. That makes more sense. And Mong, I believe a former pro gamer at one point, but I don't think he played many games. He played like one game on TLPD or something. Let me quickly have a look at TLPD just to make sure I'm not completely crazy. I know one of those guys had like one game there. Yeah, he's on TLPD at least. He doesn't have any games though. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, I am restreaming Snipe-A-Lot stream, so direct any lag complaints and other nasty things in his direction. Actually, no, don't do that. He's a nice guy. He restreams like everything twice. So anyway. Oh, apparently Mong does have a casted match per game. Okay, cool. Anyway, unfortunately we're lagging here. Now, actually one thing that just occurred to me is I don't actually know if this, like, in theory, Snipe-A-Lot could have a lag-free stream right now, and it could be like my stream of his stream that's lagging. But I'm gonna assume, I think it's more likely that it's the Afrika stream lagging right now. Wow. Oh yeah, look at all those interesting colors and shit. Let me just have a quick gander if anyone else is restreaming this. Nope, just looks like me and him. And by me and him, I mean just him, since I'm effectively just leeching off his stream. I wonder if Bugvert, BGVRT, is streaming. Do. Looks like he is not. Does anyone else say that, by the way? Because when I see BGVRT, you know, those random letters, I just call him Bugvert in my head. Bugvert. I really want to do it with KJWCJ's name as well, but I can't figure out a pronunciation for that one. Bugvert, though, is pretty easy. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and sip my honey water while Snipe-A-Lot tries to save us from doom and despair. I mean, presumably Killer's just gonna 5-pull this game, so we missed the entire game, just to, you know, show us that we are the inferior foreigners who can't watch without lag. Now, by the way, before this started, I did spend a few minutes trying to get the Afrika stream working on my own computer using the handy dandy guide. Oh, looks like we're back. And everyone's alive. Hey, perfect. Oh, sweet. Cool. I don't have any sound though. Did I mute him? Oh no, his volume bar is all the way down. That's why. All right, whatever. You guys can hear me still, right? Can you hear me? Yeah, good. Okay, so something happened. I see 3 hatcheries on the Zerg side, and I see an expansion, and just now a second Rax. So I'm gonna assume this was 1 Rax expand versus 3 hatch shenanigans. I'm just gonna assume that, because the 3rd hatch just now finished. So that seems about right. Yeah, see, there it is. Okay, and there's the lair making. Okay, good. Okay, good. So it looks like actually they decided to lag just to spare us the monotony of a completely standard opening here. or what seems to be, just judging from where we are here in the mid game. Yeah, it looks like a few Lings gonna actually suicide themselves. A little bit surprised. Slightly slow reaction there from Killer, considering he is a pro gamer. I mean, for normal people, that's, you know, you'd expect to lose a few Lings there, especially since the Marines were on the high ground, but he's a pro gamer. So, oh, it looks like one Ling actually somehow managed to sneak around that Marine force. It is going to get taken down here, I think. Oh, it does get an SCV. Wow, that's a little bit surprising. Meanwhile, a big force of Marines actually running over to the natural here. Some Lings trying to flank them, but there's 2 fire bats and no Sunkens to help out. Killer could actually just die in the early game here to this attack, but a lot of Lings are coming in. The Sunken has finished, and it looks like he might barely be okay. It's hard to tell. A lot of the Marines are hiding behind the overlay, but Killer barely surviving there, I think. Well, actually, with more Lings coming out, it looks like he survived that quite handily. It looked very, very close there for a second, but barely getting out the Lings at the last second. And that actually cost Mong quite a bit there, so he just lost his main attack and didn't really do any damage. He didn't even kill the Sunken, just killed a bunch of Zerglings. I mean, he did force a lot of Zerglings made as well, but now his mid-game army is super, super weak. He's just got to chill behind this bunker now, and does not want to be running out like that, especially with no medics in that force, and Mutas on the way. As you can see, all the eggs are morphing now. 9 Mutas on the way. Actually, it looks like one of those larvae isn't making. Perhaps he didn't have enough money after having to make all those Zerglings, so just started off with 8 Mutas or something like that. That's completely fine. It's getting thrown off slightly by the opening. Meanwhile, turrets are going up in basically perfect timing here for Mong. Look at that, the Mutas just popped and the turrets should just now be finishing. So just with that little bit of travel time as a buffer, very, very nice. So let's see if Mong has enough stuff left over to actually properly defend these Mutas. Actually, it looks like that might have only been 7 unless one of them was well stacked already. Not really sure. But anyway, it looks like the Marines are actually kind of chilling on that ramp, in between the natural and the main. Just waiting to see where the Mutas are going to go. It is fairly easy to harass the back of that natural. And of course, due to the spawn locations, the natural expansion of Mong is kind of facing Killer's base, so Killer's probably going to be happy about that. Although the turrets are up in time, it looks like Killer not going to be too aggressive with these Mutas, in fact. Now, I didn't actually watch very many of the previous SSL games. I did cast in one day of the round of 16, but Killer wasn't playing. But I just had a quick peek at the preview that the lovely TL team did for us, and apparently Killer favored going 2H Muta in this matchup quite a bit in previous rounds. So presumably he's quite confident in his Muta control here, but I'm not really seeing it though. He's being quite careful with them here. Just got like an SCV and a Marine so far, and that's about it. Maybe a couple of SCVs, but he is pumping up a few more Lings here. Might go for a big dual attack, combo attack on the natural there with the Mutas and the Lings. We shall have to see. Or maybe he's just making them so that when Mong gets confident in his defenses and decides to move out with his medic Marine force, then he can kind of catch that group out in the middle of the map with his Mutas and Lings. So still poking around with the Mutas. Just leaving that one Ling there at the front just to see if the medic Marine do actually move out. And here we go. There's the big move out from Mong. So the Ling sees it. And how far is he actually going to go? I mean, Killer's already made a bunch of Lings here in preparation here. He's got so many Lings already, and with a big attack here, he could actually do a really good job. He's actually keeping all the Lings on the high ground here, so the Marines will walk right up into the trap if they go that direction, but it looks like he might be going along the southern path. Which way is he going to go? The Mutas are trying to tempt him up to chase them onto the high ground, just trying to bait him forward here, while getting a few free kills here and there, and it looks like Mong actually, I don't know if he suspects something, but he's being very careful here. He's just kind of chilling here, not actually moving out too much. Meanwhile, interestingly, Killer decided to take the top left natural as his third rather than main, which is more common to take since you can just kind of plant lurkers at the bottom of the ramp. Even though it is a reverse ramp map, so you know, putting a couple of lurkers at the bottom isn't quite as good as a normal regular ramp map. It's still easier, I think, to defend than just defending that natural area. Although actually, this is Jade, and the natural choke there isn't that wide. It's fairly narrow as far as like 4-player maps go. So perhaps it's actually fine. You can maybe just get away with 3 or 4 lurkers there anyway. Anyway, the Mutas continues to do damage. Mong just doesn't actually want to go out too far here. I wonder if he suspects something is up here. He seems to like have this, you know, the spidey sense telling him that he shouldn't actually move out too far. But because he was being so circumspect, now the lurkers are done, so they're just going to bar the top of the ramp. So, I mean, I guess it was the correct decision probably not to move out with all those lings waiting for him. But now he can't move out even if he wanted to with those lurkers there on the ramp. I mean, there are a few other paths he can go around, sneak around the side there, but so kind of a semi-contained going on for Killer. Anyway, the Mute is moving in once again. This time I'm going to go target the barracks, maybe clear away these turrets. If he can do that, he can actually kind of camp the barracks and pick off Marines and medics as they spawn. So, oh, it looks like the siege tank is actually stuck there inside the factory. It's gotten walled in by the factory and the starport. And also what I was saying earlier is that this is really going to force the main Marine force to come back here. Not only are the SCVs under attack, but also you know, any reinforcements from the barracks can easily be picked off with those turrets gone. So this is going to be quite annoying for Mong, but it looks like the Mutas will fly home here. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't pick off that trapped siege tank there. That was basically a free kill for them. Decided instead to go for the SCVs. Not really sure which one is better there. Don't think it really matters. I'm a little bit surprised that that's actually happened to Mong there, trapping his own tank there. I mean, you know, you'd think that he would have at least played a few games on this map and figured out you should probably not build your buildings like that. I mean, the thing is, right? Even if he hasn't necessarily, you know, played a million games on this map, players tend to have, like, hold on, there's a big yellow dot at the top left natural. Is that dying? Oh, look at that! Oh man, I spotted it before their obs guy did. Look at that. Dropship at the third. I think that's going to go down if he focuses it. Yeah, third base of Killer actually goes down. So very well done by what's his face, by Mong there, taking that base down, and now he's actually got a huge advantage. So now it's back down to 2 base against 2 base, and that's really good for the Terran. And also the Mutas were pulled back to help defend that, so he's actually moving out on the map now with his forces. First science vessels out. Just a quick note on what I was saying earlier though, which was that players tend to just like have the same building placements, roughly the same building placement every time they play. So, you know, it's not a matter of, you know, you have to play a million games to figure out where things get trapped. It's just that, you know, you'd think that if he played a couple of games on this map, he would have tried to build the building in the same place anyway and saw what happens. I'm just a little bit surprised by that. Maybe just tried something different there. I'm not really sure. Anyway, looks like some lurkers going in from a flank attack. A 3-sided surround here on the Terran army with so many lurkers, and there's no way the Terran force is going to stand up to this. Some reinforcing Marines coming in here, but there's just so much stuff here for Killer, just going to completely wipe out the Terran forces there. Only a handful of Marines surviving there, and like a control group and a half of lurkers still left there. So Killer, even though he's lost his third base, has complete map control right now. He's got complete army dominance, and he's just surging forward here. He might just go for the kill, you know, screw a third base, just go and kill the Terran. Although he's lost a lot of his supporting units, the Lings and even the Mutas, in fact, do support the lurkers just by tanking shots. So it's a little bit more difficult, but there's just such an overwhelming weight of lurkers. I don't think it actually matters here. I think he's attack the natural here and just win the game. There's just no units anywhere for Mong, it looks like, and this is probably going to be it. Despite a good drop that took down that third, just not enough army strength actually to hold off this attack. The bunkers are down. Looks like a couple of vultures coming out. Those aren't going to do anything, and this is basically game for Mong. Wow, SCV is going to pull off the natural now. I mean, it's just a matter of time before we see GG. Come on, Mong. It's alright. It's a best of 5, so, you know, going down 1 game, not the end of the world. But I guess going down 1 game against Killer is probably not good. So, some emergency desperation mine defense there. I mean, he's probably hanging on so long because he's like, well, I killed the third, so maybe if, you know, he gets too over-aggressive and suicides his lurkers and I can actually hold on and retake my natural, then I'll still be 2 base against 2 base. But I mean, Killer's third base has already been re-established. The 4th base is, going up at the top left main now as we speak. There is something at Mong's third, so I guess he made a command center and floated it out, but it looks like there's only like 1 SCV there mining, so it's not really a factor anymore. And more importantly, he's just like lifted all of his unit production. Looks like he's got a few factories in the back. It seems that Killer caught him at the perfect time there in the transition from bio to mech. So while the army strength was really relatively low, Just snapping the Terran's neck. The Filer's now at the front as well. So that is it's gonna be the end. Here's the third base, gets scouted, and GG from Mong. Killer takes game number 1 and the lead in this series. But as I said, it's a best of 5, so plenty of chances left for Mong. And yeah, hopefully the break is not too long. It's not Pro League, so they're not gonna have like a friggin' hour-long break in between games.